It's back to school time, and we're going to show you today how to make elderberry syrup from our elderberry syrup, our blend kits. First, we're going to add our water into a stainless steel pot. You can also use a cast iron with an enamel coating. We're going to lid this and make sure you're using a filtered water or a really good clean well water, distilled water, not just tap water. You're going to bring this to a boil, pull the lid off, and you're going to then get your herbs, pour your herbs in. Always use a stainless steel spoon or a wooden spoon. I try not to use any kind of plastic utensils in this. You're going to turn your heat down, and you're just going to let this come to a really nice simmer. So just put your lid back on and bring that up to kind of a hard simmer. Be sure you watch it. Don't walk away from it. You don't want it to boil over. You don't want it to rolling boil too hard. Then once that comes to this nice, beautiful simmer, you're going to remove the lid and we're going to simmer it for about 45 minutes until it becomes about half. We're going to cook off about half of that liquid, making it more of a syrup. Then get you a stainless steel strainer, and then I like to use a muslin cheesecloth. You can use a finer strainer, or you can use just a regular cheesecloth, but I love these muslin cloths, and I'll show you why at the end. And then carefully, everything's super hot, carefully pour this in your strainer. Get all of your berries and barks and herbs out, and remember, try not to use plastic. That heat will get some of that plastic into your product, and you don't want that in there. Remember, this is your own home kitchen. Use what you have. Even if you only have like a tea towel, feel free to use that tea towel. I'll show you how to get your tea towel clean. So let that strain for a minute. This is extremely hot. You can see the steam coming off of it. I'm going to try to strain it here. Pull your four corners up so that none of your bits get out. You want this to be a smooth, clean liquid. But if you'll see, I'm kind of going to twist this to squeeze out all the goodness, but it's super, super hot. And if you'll watch, I'm squeezing a little, let go, squeezing a little, and then I do finally just have to let it cool down a little bit so I can finish getting the rest of it out. But the warmer it is, it's going to release, these herbs are going to release more of their juices. So here we are, final squeeze. I'm going to squeeze all that out. Now take all your herb bits. If you've got a compost pile, throw those herb bits in the compost pile. It's so good, nutritious for the compost pile, for the worms, whatever you've got. And you're left with this beautiful syrup. Now, like I said, use a tea towel, whatever you have that's cotton or linen. And you can either use this is actually our solid dish soap bar that we're using. I immediately just rinse this out with cool water. Scrub it with this solid dish soap bar. You could also use our stain stick. It also works really, really well here for this. And just old-fashionedly scrub it with the bar, rinse it under the water, and you can see at the very end your tea towel. This is an off-white muslin, comes super, super clean. You might have to do it a time or two just to make sure you get it all good and clean, but it will come clean. Just don't let it sit. I wouldn't throw the tea towel with the herbs still on it in with my towels or anything, because that could actually get on other things. This is a good cotton muslin, so it literally just rinses right out, cleans so well. These natural fabrics are so forgiving. But solid dish soap, we sell it, it comes in lime and grapefruit essential oil blends, or You can also use our coconut stain stick. That also works really, really well for all kinds of stains. So that's just a little extra tidbit, an extra little tip on how to get your tea towel or your muslin towel clean. So this is what we're left with, and you can see how much we have in here. We've got 16 ounces, and then we're going to go up a little bit with our honey. We need to let this cool to a good maybe 96, 98 degrees before we add our raw honey. We want to make sure that we don't put it in when it's too hot, because it can kill a lot of the good properties of the honey. And we also want to make sure that when we stir this, we use a wooden spoon. Metal can kill a lot of the good enzymes that honey has to offer, so we never want to use metal in your honey. That's why there's always that little wooden honey stick. So use your favorite. This is my favorite little wooden spoon, and stir that up until it becomes all the way well combined. It's just going to give it a good stir. You don't want to wait till it's too cool, because this will make this part just a little bit harder. And also, you can really sweeten this to however you want. I usually add a cup or so. I usually do eyeball it, but for this I did measure it out and then just pour it up. I've got some small bottles here that I put it in. They're very handy, and you can put it in any size jar that you want. You can put it in a mason jar. We carry these ready-made syrups in our store. Now, we do not sell them online because they have to stay refrigerated. And this blend is going to last you a good 6 months in the refrigerator. One of these packets will do a family of 4, 2 adults, 2 kids, for about a month, taking regularly as a preventative. A little less if somebody falls ill and you want to give it to that person multiple times a day. Otherwise, preventative is a tablespoon per adult every morning and a teaspoon per child under 12 every morning. Just keep these capped tightly. You need to shake them every now and then because that honey sometimes does settle. Just keep them in the refrigerator about 6 months. Make sure you always date your concoctions that you make. That way we say we're going to remember and then we don't. Just go ahead, get that Sharpie out